Alright folks, I did this video because a lot of questions on whether the GIGABYTE H310M A revision 2.0 is compatible with 9th gen. So um, clearly it states on Amazon here that it is 9th and 8th gen. And just so you know, the original H310Ms, at some point the BIOS was updated and they also worked for 9th gen. Now, the 2.0 out of the box is compatible. So, in case you don't believe me, let's go ahead and look at some of the reviews on here. Sometimes some of this stuff's bogus, but right here, May 17th, which wasn't long ago, compatible out of the box with the i5 9400F. Let's look for some more. I installed an i5 9400. No problems there, right? So we know one is definitely compatible. There's all the rest of the US ones. The only ones I trust are the Americans. i4 9400. So lots of i4 9400s. People surprisingly not getting the i3 here with this. This is 8th gen. Okay, here you go. So boom. If you can read Spanish, that's good. So there you go, compatible. Now, the next part of this video, let's talk about the actual motherboard itself, okay? I bring a lot of motherboards in, and I'll give you my thoughts on this one. See if we can find a better angle, and boom. So, looking at the motherboard, this is obviously where your CPU is going to go, okay? You want to make sure that the little triangle that is on the CPU lines up with this corner. Alright, so that is very important. You will wreck your CPU if you don't put it in correctly. RAM. Most of you gamers out here, you can get by with 8 gigs, but make life better. Just do 16. Don't be cheap on that. RAM's not that expensive. 24-pin connector, so you're going to need an ATX power supply. Here is 4 SATA 3 connectors. This is where your USB 3.0 connector from your case is going to hook up, and this will support up to 2 of those. So for your power supply, make sure it has a minimum of 1 4-pin for CPU power. Most of them will be 2x4, and the really good ones will have 3 or 4 of these, okay? So if you're building for the future, it's not going to hurt to go get more of a power supply than you need for this. Now, this motherboard is not really meant for overclocking, so it's not really a good match for a K-type chip. Part of that also is because there's just not enough power here, and the fact this is not a Z370, Z390, okay? So if you want to overclock, don't bother. Now, PCI Express slot, here's where your graphics card is going to go. Unless you get a really thin one, low profile, it's going to block this other PCI, the smaller one here. So you're only going to have basically this one, and that guy will be useful. Okay. Now, if you get a CPU that doesn't end in an F, you could go without having a graphics card. Of course, gaming will stink. So something you may use this card for, since this does not come with Wi-Fi, you may want to buy a PCI Express Wi-Fi card, and that will connect to one of your USBs. This is the front one, and I actually don't see a secondary USB, so that is a negative. Wi-Fi, having a Wi-Fi card for this one will be a little difficult. There may be an adapter for the 3.0 to 2.0, but yeah, that's kind of a crappy thing here. So here's where your front panel connectors, your power, your HDD, your resweat, where they're going to be. And this row here is your speaker, little speaker that comes with the case. Now, here is your HD audio, so you'll have to make this connection as well. Let's look at the if there's a picture, your I/O connectors. So this one's actually nice. Instead of having VGA, we've got DisplayPort, HDMI. We've got the old crappy PS2 for keyboard and mouse, USB 2.0, USB 3.0, and this actually has, one USB 3.0 and a Type C Charlie. Okay, so this actually is a bit more advanced. This is not that bad of a motherboard. A lot of areas it's weak, but the mere fact that it has that and it has that, not bad at all, folks. Of course, these will not work unless you have if you have a CPU that ends in F. These are not going to work for you. Ethernet, two USB 2.0s, headphone, and your microphone. So there you go, folks. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.